Here's 3 social media post ideas for realtors you can take away and use right now to get yourself a new seller or buyer client. Now, I've personally worked with real estate agents for the last half a decade, helping them implement strategic personal branding online to get clients. And at this point, I've analyzed literally thousands of real estate agents' social media accounts and marketing campaigns. I get to see exactly what kind of social media posts work, what kind of social media posts actually don't work. And I'm afraid to say that most real estate agents go about their social media posts the wrong way by posting really just sold, just listed, generic real estate articles, or just automating their content fully with pre-made content and things like that. And by doing so, they're really just burning money, wasting time, wasting energy, sometimes even burning their social media accounts, but ultimately missing out on thousands and thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars in GCI, simply because they're not posting the right kind of social media content. So let's dive right into the 3 social media post ideas for real estate agents that are proven to generate tons of engagement and, most importantly, new leads. Now, as you know, there's 2 types of social media content you can post on social media. We can really post image-based content, so the post where you have an image and also a text on top of it, and then you also obviously have video-based content. And in this video, all these 3 social media posts we're going to be covering are going to be based on image-based content, because that's going to be simply the fastest but also the most comfortable to make, especially at the start. And because of that, it's extremely easy for you to get started with it, even if you haven't ever done any social media posts before. So the first one is what we call a bandwagon post. And the reason we call this the bandwagon effect is because it plays into a psychological bias, which is literally built into our brains. So that bias is called the bandwagon effect, which is the tendency for people to adopt certain behaviors, styles, or attitudes simply because other people are doing so as well. So put simply, we like to follow the crowd. So there's been a lot of studies and research done on this. Obviously, this is something you kind of realize yourself as well. And if you're not tapping into this effect with your real estate business, with your marketing, with your social media posts, you're missing out on a lot of conversions, a lot of revenue. So what do you include in this post? Well, let's start off with the text for this post. So first, think back for the last couple months and think about all the clients you have worked with, all the clients you have helped, and think back to just one client where that client had a very, very common concern about the real estate transaction before you work with that client. So something you're seeing a lot of the people being concerned about right now, and then obviously that client should also have gotten a great outcome when they have worked together with you. So first, all you have to do is just to list out those common concerns they had. And this could be, as an example, a concern specifically right now that's happening in the marketplace, which is high interest rates. And then also list out the outcome they got after working with you. So this can be something that they sold, as an example, $20,000 over asking price, or maybe they actually moved into their dream home without having a significant increase in their mortgage monthly payments, or ultimately maybe they just saved some money by downsizing or things like that. So that gives you the core components of that post, and now all we have to do is to take these elements and turn them into a narrative story we can then use on our social media posts. So first, we start off with a hook. So as an example, you can use something like PSA to all the homeowners who've had plans to move but are feeling concerned with the rising interest rates and the market turbulence. And then what we can do is to allow people to relate to the concern your client had. So as an example, you would say something like, a few weeks ago, I was talking with John, a local homeowner here in Atlanta, and he was telling me about wanting to move his family to Austin so they could live closer to his aging parents. But he'd been reading news headlines about the rising interest rates, and he told me that he didn't want to get a new mortgage with a higher interest rates. So here's what I did. And then what he would do is he would go on to telling about what he told the client that made them want to act anyway, describing what you actually did with the client, the overall process, and ultimately the desirable outcome the client got in the end. And then obviously at the end of the post, you can add something like, hope this adds a new perspective. And that's going to be the text for your social media post. And so that's all you really have to do to make great, successful, influential social media posts. And obviously one quick tip when writing this is that put every sentence into its own line. Don't write this like in a long paragraph. Don't put the story like all together, but add some spacing in between, so this way it's going to be easier for the person to read. Because otherwise it's going to make people just want to skip the post if it's just very, very long without any spacing in between. Okay, so that's all you have to do for the text, and then you also need a picture for the post as well. For the image, if you have a picture of you and the homeowner together, standing in front of the house, maybe they have the sold sign together, right? That's obviously incredibly great picture. And if you have that, take those as much as you can as you go on about your transactions. But sometimes you don't, and if you don't have that picture, all you have to do then is just take a picture of yourself in front of that house or then in front of another house. That's gonna work as well. Now, once you have the post ready, you now have the text, you now have the picture, all you have to do then is just to post it on your social media. So you wanna post it to your Instagram, post it to your LinkedIn, to your personal profile, and the business profile on Facebook. And obviously then you can also email this, which is something a lot of people don't actually do in the real estate space, is to email your entire database through your CRM and tell all those people you met, your leads, everybody else, about the success story you had with your client. Also, by the way, if you'd like to get a written copy of these 3 social media post ideas for realtors sent directly to your email, all you have to do is just to comment post ideas. So caps lock post ideas somewhere in the comment section, and our team will send that over for you 100% for free. Now, the second post idea is a conversion trigger that has 13 simple steps to it for you to generate leads immediately from your Instagram and from your Facebook. So this post is done through Instagram and Facebook stories, and here's how it works. So first you want to open up your Instagram stories. Then you take a selfie of yourself as the background image for the story. And then all we have to do is to add a poll element on top of it. So I would go here, the stickers, add a poll, press done, add it like this. And what I want to do is I want to add the text separately here. So I can ask a question here. Are you living in your dream home right now? And then add a question mark, and I'm gonna add it here like this. And then all I have to do now is just to post this story. So I'll go here to arrow and post it to that story. And then I'm gonna press done. And over here, all I have to do now is just to open up Instagram stories again. And now all I have to do is just take another selfie, again, as the background image for the story. And over here, all I have to do is again, add that poll element up top of it. We'll go here, again, add this poll. And then over here, I just type in another question. There we go. And then I'm gonna make the text a little smaller, this, and add it here again. And now, again, we have the same poll answers, yes or no. I'm gonna post the story again. Now, additionally, you want to make sure that you're posting automatically on Facebook as well. If you don't have that done, you can go to the settings and make it so that you're also posting to your Facebook stories whenever you're posting to your Instagram stories as well. So all you have to do now is just wait for the responses to come in. Usually within 30 minutes, you have multiple yes answers already. From here, all you have to do is go to the profiles of those yes responses, go to the messages and send them a voice message. So all you have to say in the voice message can be something like, hey, what's up, John? I saw that you at least toyed around with the idea of moving into a new home. Are you based in Atlanta? So you just say, hey, what's up, name? And then for the city, obviously you'll say your city. And now you've opened up the conversation with a potential client. That's all you have to do. You've just opened up a conversation with a potential client. This is something that a lot of people pay hundreds of dollars for in lead generation costs for services like Zillow and other ones as well. You got it 100% for free, and you got multiple of those as well. Third social media post idea for realtors is a personal story. The reason personal stories work so well is because they tap into the parasocial interactions effect. Now, without this video turning into a psychology lecture, would know that when you disclose personal information about yourself online in an open way, people will really start to feel like they know you despite having never met you actually in person. And this builds that trust level, this builds that connection with people, and even the people that already know you will start to appreciate getting to know you in a much, much deeper way. So this is one of the post types we found to be absolutely crushing it engagement wise, and it's also a great pathway to build new but also to deepen those existing relationships you already have online. And as you know, getting listings, this is a relationships based business. So let's take a look at how this is done step by step by step. So let's start with the text of the post as usual. So here's the formula you can use for a general brand story, kind of a personal story. So first, you want to create the right context around the post by saying something like, hey, want to get to know me better, or hey, grab a cup of coffee and let's get to know each other better. And then you would go on to explain what is your personal background story, where you came from, what did you do when you grew up, what shaped you into being who you are today. And really this can be anywhere from 4 to 8 sentences. This can be pretty short, but you also want to make sure, you're kind of going deep enough. A lot of times I see people kind of only telling about the business stuff, but you really need to also tell yourself from that personal angle, where you grew up in, what school did you go to, maybe some of the hobbies you had and things like this. And then from here, you can dive this into real estate. So how do you get into real estate in the first place? Maybe what was your first transaction like? What was the motivation behind becoming a realtor? And this can be anywhere from 3 to 4 sentences. And fast forward to today, what is your situation right now? What is the bigger altruistic purpose continuously that's motivating you to being a realtor and helping people with these transactions? And then obviously we wrap up the story by writing an ending sentence that shows people who you help specifically. This can be something like, today I'm grateful to be helping homeowners in Austin seamlessly transition from one home to the next. And then from here, all you need to do again is just add a picture along the story. The best kind of picture would be a picture of yourself that matches what you're talking about in the story, or just a general picture of you, say, outdoors in your local neighborhood. So once you have that, you're good to go and post it on all of your social media profiles like we had with the first post idea. Now, to make it easier for you to actually implement these 3 key social media post ideas, like I mentioned to you before, if you'd like to get a written copy of these 3 social media post ideas for real estate agents specifically, sent directly to your email, just comment post ideas with caps lock, post ideas below in the comment section, specifically here on this video, and our team will send out over for you 100% for free. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.